If you're a fully booked braider and your body is hurting and you barely have time to do the things you want with your kids or even for yourself, or maybe you feel like, man, I'm fully booked, but I'm barely have enough to do what I want to do, not just do what I need to do, this video is for you. See, over the last year, I've been working with over 10 plus fully booked braiders. And the braiders that I've worked with, after implementing this new way of making money, have been able to get massages, take themselves on spa days, get their own hair and nails done, and just have more time to do the things they love with the people they love the most. And in this video, I want to reveal to you the new way to make money without braiding hair and how you need to think going into this new year if you don't want to just survive on braiding income. Okay, so let's get into it. So you have to first understand, let me tell you guys what the old way is. So the old way of making money as a braider, fully booked, is going to be this. I'm going to take as many clients as possible. I'm only going to work maybe 4 to 5 days a week if you're not killing yourself. Sometimes 6. Braiders usually have a nice off day. They have a nice off day. And I'm going to strive for 10K. But a lot of braiders that I've been working with have told me that yes, the goal was to be fully booked at one point, but now since they're fully booked, their body is beat up, their hands are tired, and all those different things. And they believe that the more I work with my hands, the more money I'll make. But when you think about this, if you are a fully booked braider and you want to be present and you want to not have to worry about braiding income, using your hands more requires you to be physically present. And then your body becomes the thing that gets beat up. And it takes you longer to make the money you want to make because you're capped by your time and by your energy. See, think about this. Have you ever noticed that the person who works the most in the hotel industry makes the least amount of money? Just think about it. If you go to a hotel, who's the hardest working person there? Your answer is probably going to be the housekeeping staff. All right. But the housekeeping staff person doesn't make the most. If I ask you, who do you think makes the most in the hospital, not the hospital, the hotel industry? You would probably say the CEO or the person who created it. All right. Why is that? Because the person who is communicating makes more than the person who is doing the physical labor. So you have to understand that when you are using your hands will always limit your income. And I'm pretty sure you don't want your income to be limited, all right, because you want to be able to make money without using your hands. All right. So if you understand that your hands are limiting to you, and your hands not only are limiting you on your time and your energy, but they're also limiting you being able to experience life with the people you love the most, then you have to implement this new way of making money. So the new way that the braiders I've been working with have implemented is this. So I remember I was a funnel guy myself, making funnels, and it's basically a person who makes these like cute websites, and I was making these funnels, and I would spend like 8 to 10 hours a day, maybe 4 or 5 days a week behind my computer making these different web pages for these different beauticians. And I realized I didn't have a lot of time to spend with my family, my wife, but I needed to provide for her, but I had to spend a lot of time behind a computer to do so. So I remember one time I met this braider and we connected on Instagram. I'm like, I'm about to sell her a funnel. And we got on a strategy call and I tried to sell her a funnel and beat it in her head. And she was like, no, I don't want a funnel. I just need help getting more sales for my courses. And I kept trying to sell her funnel. And she eventually, I didn't close the sale. Now I remember sitting in a chair in the living room and listening to a mentor on a podcast. And he had said this. He said that stop trying to sell people what you want to sell them and start selling people what they want to buy. And it had clicked in my head like, oh my gosh, I had been trying to sell her a funnel, but really she just wanted me to help her sell more of her courses. So with that being said, I got back on the phone. I got back in the DMs, texted her, told her I was so sorry. And I ended up getting on the phone with her again. Now, before I got on the phone, I had to do this. I had to come up with 3 packages. All right, because my coach said you want to give people 3 options and have them choose option. I came up with a $10,000 package. Presented to her, she said no. I came up with a $2,000 package. Presented to her, and she said, no, I came up with an $800 package for 90 minutes of my time just to strategize with her on how to sell more courses. She paid it. And in that moment, I realized that, oh my gosh, there's another way to make money that doesn't require my body. And that literally people will pay me to run my mouth. Like, people will pay me for my mind. So the new way of making money without braiding is making money from your mind. Because guess what? If you use your mind to make money, you use your mouth to make millions, you don't have to physically go through labor. So you as a braider, you need to start thinking about using your mind and your mouth to make money. And guess what? You have all these years of braiding knowledge. You have been through all these different things, and you actually have knowledge in your head that can help somebody get to where you are at because you have went through it. Okay, so braiding really isn't the problem. It's dependent on braiding as the only income is the problem. So braiding harder is not the answer. Using your mind to make money and making money without braiding is the answer. So I want to give you one quick step you can do right now to start using your mind to make money, because you may feel like, I don't know what I could teach. What do I need to create? All right, so let me tell you this. If I put you on stage right now and I told you that you don't have no time to prep, but you need to go out on stage and you need to wow the crowd. And if you don't, you're going to lose somebody that you love. What would you go up there and talk about? What's something that comes easier to you and harder to others? I like to coach my students and say that whatever you would go out there and talk about, this is what's called your superpower. It's something that you could talk about easily and like something you could do in your sleep. So see, I have a student I'm working with right now. Her name is Alicia. She owns the Braid Palace. And her thing is travel braiding. She can talk up and down about travel braiding. But I had a student named Looks by Cat who was a master stitch braider, and she wanted to focus on stitch braiding. See, you have something that comes easier to you and harder to others, and you don't need to teach everything. The first step is just make a decision today that, wow, looking back at your life and looking at all that you accomplished, maybe you're good at salon suites. Maybe you're good at stitch braids, knotless braids. Maybe you're good at boho. Maybe you're good at the booking, creating booking sites and systems. Maybe you're good at content creation, IG Reels, TikTok to get clients. You already have something that people are willing to pay for. And that's why when you make the decision today after watching this video, I want you to go ahead and click the link in the description and join me at the next Mentor Money Summit, where I'm going to show you how to take what you just decided on and turn it into a mentorship as fast and as easy as possible so you can start making money without braiding hair. Because I believe that you should not only be relying on braiding income, because if something happened to your hands tomorrow, how would you feel? Okay. So the old way is braiding more hours, raising the prices, but the new way is taking what's in your head and making money from your mind and making millions from your mouth. Okay, so go ahead and click the link in the description. Make that decision before you do. Click the link in your description, and I will be looking forward to seeing you at the next Mentor Money Summit.